Sheffield Wednesday are your early door leaders over in the Championship as they top the table following on from their 4-0 demolition job of the Green Army. That's right. But will they still be there after match number 2? We're going to get into it. All of it next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today, we're taking a look at match day number 2 over in the Championship, and we'll get to it in a second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe button. Your one-stop shop for the Championship is right here under one rooski. We're going to take a little look back first at the opening day results, my picks, Elliot Bennett's picks, and of course your picks, and we'll get into all of that in just a second. Of course, big shout out to the VIPs. They are the patrons. You know who you are. And again, if you're new, smash the old subscribe, boys and girls. All right, folks, let's take a look clock. All right, folks, let's turn the clock back to last weekend and recap the results. My picks are on the left, Elliot's are in the middle, and the results are on the far right-hand side. As you can see, we both got Rovers right. We backed the boys, and they came on in. I'm with a better scoreline than Elliot, so I'll probably give myself a victory on that one. Meanwhile, the Nobbers, they got turned over by Sheffield United. I went with them, went with Sheffield United, of course, coming out on top with the win then. Elliot sitting on the fence somewhat, could only muster a draw. So another one in the bag for me. Meanwhile, Cardiff lost to Sunderland. Reggie Lemmy with an opening day victory for them. I sat on the fence. Elliot backed Cardiff, got it wrong. Meanwhile, Hull City could only muster a draw against Bristol City. Both of us backing different results there. None of us got it right. Meanwhile, surprise of the round, you would imagine. Leeds 3, Portsmouth 3, both of us backing Leeds. I think even Elliot backed Leeds for the banker on that one. Got it wrong. Borough, though, 1-0 win over Swansea. Both Mr. Bennett and myself backing the winning horse there. Watford, 3-2 winners over Millwall. Elliot got that one right, close to the mark anyway. 2-1 win for him, 1-1 for me. Again, my banker was absolutely wrong as Norwich got turned over by Oxford United over at the Kazam. I went with the away win, as did Elliot, but of course I went a bit bolder with the backer. Meanwhile, QPR did lose to West Brom at home, 4 goals in it. Elliot got 4 goals, but it got wrong. I went for QPR, also got that one wrong. Stoke City with a 1-0 win over Coventry. Again, I sat on the fence somewhat there. Elliot picking up a 3-1 away win, but we both got it wrong. Wednesday, we're 4-0 winners over Plymouth. Put Rooney in a bit of trouble. I went with a 3-1 win. Elliot Bennett back with a 2-0 win. Job done in the end. And then finally, we've got a 4-1 win for Burnley. I went on a draw on that one, and Mr. Bennett backing a 2-1 win for the town. But that was a pretty ropey in the end. What about you guys, though? Well, let's take a little look at what you guys picked out for us. As you can see at the top of the Super Brew, we have a leader, a couple of leaders actually. KP21 is up there alongside Chaz Royal and Chase Giftgaff, all chipping up there with 13.5 points. Shepherd's up there alongside Kieran Gackerty as well, Love Chops, Ultra Omamura and John Cow with 12. Sexy Ogre's up there, all 11.5. Vindaloo Victory and the Chasing Bloody Pack. I'm all the way down here, past Philly Rovers, so a really piss poor start for me, with 5 points. And Mr. Bennett chipped in with 5 as well. So we both pretty much evened out in the end. So not the greatest start over there, but I want to let you know our Wall of Fame looks like this. Elliot Bennett, first name on the board here, 5 points on the board. Who, of course, will challenge him? Well, that's, of course, there's something I'm going to tell you about in just a second. But reminder, of course, of the bankers right there, but reminder of the Super Brew. It is free. Cutley/champ 2425. Get involved. Get in it. It makes it still early days to see if you can outpredict me, the Prediction King. So into match number 2 we go now, and we need a special guest. Who is that special guest? Well, joining me today is Hal from Sheffield United Way. He is with me to take a short, sharp look at this week's action and give us his predictions. Okay, joining me today is Hal from Sheffield United Way. How you doing, Hal?
I'm excited. I'm excited to be back because your name is the best in the business.
It is. I think I must have come on a drunken moment and I came up with that. But it's good. I like it, and I'm glad we grabbed it. But we're going to jump straight in. We're going to go to this coming Friday night over at the Rico. I think they still call it. It's Coventry up against Oxford United. Of course, Oxford started off with a nice win against Norwich. Coventry, I can't remember. They lost against Stoke 2-1. They've played 9 times since 2015. Coventry have won 4 of them. There's been 3 draws. And actually, it's been 3 wins for Oxford, 2 draws. But the bookies are going with Coventry. Which way is Hal going from United Way?
It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because I think a lot of people before the season started would have certain teams that you kind of pick and you think, yeah, these are going to be the ones that are going to be, pretty strong. But yeah, you just never know. And Coventry, I fancy to do really well. I fancy them to get into the playoffs, and I don't really fancy Oxford to be in any great shakes. So actually, I have to say I'll go with a home win here, and probably quite convincing. Maybe something like 3-0.
3-0, big scoreline there. I'm also going with you, Hal, on this one. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win. Back Coventry at home. They should be too strong for Oxford United, who might have just been running off momentum. Let's go into Saturday's games, and it's the Baggies. West Brom taking on Leeds United. This match, there's a bit of a cracker, actually, over at the Hawthorns. West Brom, though, 17% form over the last 6, including pre-season. Leeds United, 67% form for them. They do come into this on the back of a draw. That was against Pompey at Ellen Road. West Brom picking up a win against QPR, but did lose to Fleetwood in the Caramel Cup. Bookies siding with, they're going with Leeds. What are you going with, though?
Right, I'm not surprised they're going with Leeds. By the way, I've never heard form described in a percentage before. Doesn't actually make any sense.
No, it doesn't. But I'm just reading the numbers, and it does sometimes make sense. If there's like 99% or 90% form, then they're probably on a good bit of momentum.
99% form doesn't make sense. So I'll probably go with a draw for this one. West Bromwich Albion, as I like to call them, 1. Leeds United 1. That'll be 2 draws on the trot for Leeds. Many people fancying Leeds, not me, to win the league.
I'm with you. It looks like you got my notes here. I'm going with a 1-1 draw as well. Yeah, I think Farker's under pressure. I think he needs to get the results in fast, or otherwise he could be getting his. Is it UB40? Is that what they call it? UB40? I don't know what it is. P52s. I don't know what it is.
Well, P45, anyway. But yeah,
P45. I've been out the UK for too long.
That wasn't good.
Derby County, they're, of course, opening day loss to my, of course, beloved Rovers, taking on Middlesbrough, though, at Pride Park. Again, Paul Warne under a bit of pressure. At the moment, they have beaten Middlesbrough 10 times out of the last 40. Middlesbrough picking up 21 wins when these two sides have played. There's been 9 draws. Middlesbrough are on 92% form right now, including pre-season. However, Derby, 33% form, and they come back into this following a win against Chesterfield in the Cup. The Borough in action tonight against Leeds. Which way is this one going?
Because the Borough are in action against Leeds, and they haven't got the biggest squad, but they've got some good players, I'm not sure this would necessarily be the away win that many people would fancy. I don't think this is going to be a thriller, but I do believe Borough have got goals in them. So I can actually, again, go with 1-1.
1-1, wow.
1-1.
Well, just to make it interesting, well, not really. I put picks ahead of time. I am going 2-0 win for the Borough. I'm going to give them the win. I think Derby, they were a little bit ropey against Rovers. Of course, I don't think you saw it because your game was on at the same time. And we'll get to Sheffield United in a second. We're going to go to Fratton Park now as Pompey take on Luton Town. Passionate fans on both ends, but Fratton Park, an interesting place to go. And that's the return to the Championship. They have beaten Luton Town 8 times out of the last 16 matches. Luton picking up just 5 wins, 3 draws. Pompey with that free draw against Leeds last time at Ellen Road. They did crash out of the Cup, though. Luton have an not easy, but they are an easy week this week. No Cup game for them, but they did get spanked by them 6-fingered freaks, Burnley. What is your take on this one?
I just love your stats. I mean, none of the stats that you've shared at all mean anything when it comes to these. So I think it's really good to keep those going. What do I think with this one? I didn't expect Luton to lose quite so heavily. Luton have been my tip to win the league. Portsmouth got that draw against Leeds. They probably weren't the better side. I watched that game, and Jayden Bogle giving away that penalty. Jayden Bogle from Sheffield United, Agent Bogle doing his best to give a really shocking penalty away to give Portsmouth what looked to be a 3-2 win, and then Leeds came back. I think they'll be on the crest of a wave, Pompey, and Luton might be licking their wounds. So whilst this might sound like I don't know any other scores, I'm going 1-1.
Triple threat there. Triple 1-1 threat there by Hal. I'm back in the Pompey here at home. I think Fratton Park, interesting venue, intimidating venue. and they're going to get a lot of good results at home. That's my take. But a season of mid-table, I'm expecting for Pompey. Luton will click into gear at some point. Meanwhile, we go to what I call Thrashton Gate. That is Ashton Gate. Bristol City taking on Millwall. Liam Manning's Bristol City up against Neil Harris's Millwall. Doesn't scream best game of the weekend, but it's at Ashton Gate. It's actually quite even on the stats over time. 10 wins for Millwall, 8 for Bristol City. It's been 9 draws, so it smells like a draw. Millwall 50% form. Bristol City 67% form over the last 6. And they come into this, Millwall with a narrow loss to Watford, I believe. What was that? 3-2. And then Bristol City picking up a draw against Hull on the road. Which way are we swinging for this one?
I love the way you say Millwall. Good. Before the season started, I thought Millwall are going to be like an outside shout for the playoffs, but they haven't. A lot of Millwall fans then said to me, "We're not as confident as you," and then I wasn't that impressed with their performance at the weekend. Bristol City, I like Manning. I like some of the business they've done. They are at home. If I hadn't said 1-1 for every other game, I'd want to say it again. This will therefore then definitely be 1-1, but I will actually say 1-0 Bristol City.
1-0 Bristol City. I was tempted to go 1-1 because you didn't, but I'm going to go 2-0 win Bristol City. What did they get? They picked up a result against Hull. Yeah, I don't know. Bristol City underwhelmed me, but I do like Sinclair Armstrong, who picked him up from QPR. He's one to watch for the next couple of seasons. We go to Plymouth under pressure. Wayne Rooney FC up against Hull City. Probably already must win or must do something. Plymouth against the Hull side, who again, I don't know, jury's out on Tim Walter, new coach to the scene. It's pretty even over the last 11, since 2005, 5 wins apiece between these two sides. Plymouth lost overwhelmingly so against Sheffield Wednesday most recently. Hull on the back of that 1-1 draw against Bristol City. Is there any hope the Green Army can get a result?
No, and they'll lose Michael Cooper to Sheffield United, their goalkeeper as well. So, 4-0 Hull.
4-0, ain't wasted no time on that one. I've also backed the away side here, 2-1 win. I think I'll give them a little bit of hope on this one, but still, the clock is ticking for Wayne Rooney's managerial career. Swansea City over in Wales take on Preston North End, managerless Preston North End at the Liberty. Played each other 19 times since 2004, 11 wins for the Swans, 6 wins for the Nobbers, 2 draws between the two sides. They last played at Wales, 2-1 win it was for Swansea. In fact, the away side has not won since Preston beat Swansea since 2021. Preston on the back of a 2-0 loss to the Blades. They picked up a 2-0 result against Sunderland in the Cup, whereas Swansea lost to Middlesbrough, bounced back in the Cup against the Gills. Which way are we swinging on this one?
It looked like that Ryan Lowe had lost the dressing room, so they were all happy that he'd gone. You get that response, you get that no manager bounce. I think the players will be looking to show how good they are, and it was just the manager that they didn't like. So actually, I can really see Preston doing well in this game. I do think they've got quite good players, player for player. I think if they'd kept Ryan Lowe, then my prediction of Preston being a serious relegation threat would actually have looked good. It might look silly come the end of the season. I can see Preston nicking this 1-0.
1-0. It's going 1-0 for the wayside. Swansea, I'm not too sure about at the moment. Preston, they're a local rival. You can't give them too much credit. I'm going to back the Swans with a 2-0 win. And I do like Ronald, whatever his name is. I think he's a Brazilian winger. He scored in the Cup. They've got some exciting players like Slovenian as well, picked up from Bordeaux. Some good players for Swansea. They just need to gel. Going to give them the win here. Let's move over to Watford down at Vicarage Road, my old stomping ground way back when. They take on Stoke. Tom Cleverley, again, jury's out on him, against Schumacher in the dugouts for Stoke. 14 wins for Stoke over 29 matches between these two sides, 10 wins for Watford, 5 draws between the two sides. Last time they played at Vicarage Road, it was a bore draw. When I say bore draw, it was a 1-1 draw. Watford opening up with a 3-2 win against Millwall. Stoke with a 1-0 win over Coventry. Both winning in the week in the Cup, both keeping clean sheets as well. Hal, what you got?
I used to live in Stoke, so there you go. You got your old stomping grounds, my old stomping ground. It's a stomp off. It's a classic stomp off. I don't know about either of these in terms of where they're going to get goals from. That's probably what I'd be questioning most if I supported either of these sides. I think Stoke's big problem is it's a graveyard for strikers. You can send a striker from Barcelona to the Britannia and they'll suddenly stop scoring goals. So I think it could be tricky, and I'll actually go 1-0 Watford.
1-0 Watford. I'm back in the Hornets as well with a 2-1 win at home. Not too confident on Schumacher as a coach, and I'm not too sure about some of the players Stoke have at the moment. So I'm going to back Watford, even though I don't really back Watford. I don't really back Cleverly right now. I don't think he's the right man, but we'll see. Now we go for the tasty one. It is, of course, Sheffield United up against QPR, Bramall Lane. I'll give you the rundown. 92% form for Sheffield United, up against 70% form QPR. Just 1 win in 6, but that 1 win was their last match in the Cup. I don't even know who it was against. It was against Cambridge. Squeaked past them. The Blades put on, there was a bit of a game against Wrexham, wasn't it? 4-2. Maybe a couple of little scares in that one. But opening day win against, no. Opening win against Preston. It's looking good. Form book, though, over the last, you haven't beaten them in 2 attempts. You've got to go back to 2022 for your last win. It's looking tricky.
So, but that's because we haven't played them in the Premier League last season. So, no, I mean, we were very comfortable against Wrexham. I remember when Wrexham took the lead in that match, and we'd had 82% possession before they'd had the first shot. We were in control in that game. The only reason they scored 2 goals is our goalkeeper Ivo Gerbic is, and I think I say this with respect, he's not the best with his hands, or his feet, or his body. But everything else, top drawer. So I was very comfortable. I never felt in any threat against Wrexham. Even when they scored, I was like, we got this. And this was a team we played against Wrexham, which had never played together before. It were a bunch of kids and people off the street, and we absolutely put them to the sword, as the Blades do. And we look comfortable against Preston. Nice, easy win. This will also be a nice, easy win. I'll say 2-0 Blades.
2-0 the Blades. So what is the goalkeeper situation over there with this Gurgic fella feature for this one? Will you get the Plymouth guy in over on the line in time? You reckon he'll feature? I've gone with a 3-1 win for Sheffield United. I think it'll be a piece of cake in the end. I think QPR might score. Debut woes maybe for the new keeper. I don't know. Just finding his feet. Going back the Blades though. 3-1 win in my eyes. Let's go over to the biggest game of the day, though, at Carrow Road. It is Norwich against my beloved Blue and White Halves. It's, of course, matey boy, what's his name? The new coach at Norwich. I've lost it. It is Jonas Torp. First home game in charge in the league up against the Rovers. Spurred on recently, 10 goals in 2 games from John Eustace's Blackburn Rovers. Now the score or the recent run of events between these two sides. Since 93, 9 wins for the Canaries, 8 wins for Rovers, 9 draws between the two sides. Norwich woeful in their opening game, 2-0 loss to Oxford. Bounced back with a 7-goal thriller against Stevenage. Rovers put in 4 past Derby, 6 against Stockport. Which way are you going?
Well, at the start of the season, I thought Blackburn on paper looked absolutely pants. I've been really impressed with Rovers, and they look good. They look like they might be a dark horse this season. I know it's really early biscuits, but I am impressed. So I wouldn't be shocked here if Rovers either caused an upset and got the win, or more likely this will be a cagey affair. Probably very few chances, and it'll be about whoever scores first. But I've got a feeling Rovers score first, and then Norwich throw kitchen sink. You know what I'm going to say? 1-1.
1-1. And if you read my notes on that one, I'm also going with a draw. I think Rovers look good, like you said. They've got confidence now under their wings. Norwich look a little bit bubbly, a little bit ropey under a new coach. And they've got a lot of drama going on right now. The Delia's handing over the reins. They're losing maybe, is it Jonathan Rowe or one of their hot topics?
Yeah, Leeds are
Sarah. Yeah, it's all going off for the Canaries. I think we're playing them at a good time before they get their act together. But yeah, going to side with you on this one with one more draw. It's the final 2 now. Shouldn't be with you too long. We'll get you on your way. Burnley, they look good against Luton, up against Millwall, who I don't know if they travel well, specifically up this far. Actually, looking at the wrong one. What are we playing? Burnley, Cardiff. Change of approach there. Cardiff under Bullet. Yeah, he's had okay first season. Burnley under Parker. He seems to get it right every time around. What do we say? The bookie's going with Burnley on this one, overwhelmingly so. And Cardiff, back-to-back clean sheets. Tell a lie. That's a lie. They got 1 clean sheet. They did lose to Sunderland. I was on the ropes there as I lost my footing. Which way are you going for this one? Over at Turdmore.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in hearing what you've called Preston, what you've called Burnley, the names of the grounds. I've not heard these before. Of course, we've only got one rival. It sounds like you've got more.
Well, these are the worst.
Okay, these are the ones. I mean, I was aware of that. Yeah, the ones you really hate. You know, I have no dog in this fight, and I will say that I do actually expect Burnley comfortable 3-0 win against Cardiff City.
You know, and I try to be as unbiased as I can, and I am going to go with the Freaks win on this one, 2-0 win. Parker's, got a lot of toys in his locker, and I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with, and hopefully somebody can give them a game at some point. So 2-0 win for me. What did you say? Sorry, 3-0 win.
Yeah, 3-0. I really do see that for the home side, absolutely. So I've only got one game left, right? And it's
your favourite. It is Sunderland up against them lot down the road. Sheffield Wednesday coming at you at the Stadium of Shite. Reggie Labrie, Sunderland up against Danny Roll, who everyone loves Danny Roll right now. Everyone loves him. 16 times they have played, 7 wins for the Mackhams, 6 wins for the Owls, 3 draws between the two sides. Most recently between these two sides at the Stadium of Light. It was the last game of the season, 2-0 win for the Owls. Actually they exchanged victories at their own venues last season, both sides winning on the road. Which way are you going to go? What do you think of Danny Roll?
I do think he's a very good young manager. I think he's at the wrong club, and I think hopefully someone will snap him up, and he can get proper backing with a proper chairman and really kick on his he'll have a burgeoning career. It'll only get better. I don't want him to stay at Swilsborough. I think for Hump Day, this is going to be maybe one of the first games where it starts to unravel, and hopefully Danny does go before they have a really unpleasant run, because he actually seems like a decent bloke, and he's definitely in the wrong place. That's not a club for him, because I like him. So red and white against the Pigs. I mean, there's only going to be one way I'm going to go here. We'll say 5-0 Sunderland. Nice, easy victory against the Piggies.
5-0. We love it. I'm also going with Sunderland. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for them. I don't think it's going to be that crazy, but I don't know about Reggie Labrie still. He got a win in the Cup. I think he picked up a win in the opening day of the season as well. But that's it. I appreciate it, Hal. Let's see if we can get your name on the Wall of Fame next week. Beat Elliot Bennett, score 5. If I was to push you for a banker, which one would it be? Which one of the results, if you can remember them, which one would it be? Would it be your Blades banking over QPR, or do you have another one that's dead cert?
I'd love to say United, but I think you're not going to like this, but I think Burnley is probably my banker.
Okay, that's no problem. I will just, for argument's sake, it's too risky. I'm going to back your boys. I think you'll turn over. I think you'll turn over QPR quite easily. So, especially
I need to see more of those hoops. I'm just not sure about how good they're going to be.
Again, they're riding on a good bit under Cofrientes or whatever you say. I think he's a good coach as well, but I think they'll steady out and be lower, like upper lower mid table, like 14th, 15th, I think. Anyway, appreciate it, Hal. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully, I can grab you later on in the season when our two sides lock horns. We can chat about that, and I appreciate giving up a bit of your Wednesday afternoon.
Until next time.
But before you go, tell us where we can find you.
Oh, whoa. Well, if you want to follow at Sheffield United Way, that would be great. So, if though you're a Blackburn Rovers fan and you think, why would I want to follow that? That's a very good question, and I don't really have a response. What I would say then, if that is your stance, and that's your prerogative, I do also have my own Twitter, which I don't really want people to follow because I'd largely just get a lot of abuse there. But that's general football. And it would be better if I had more followers than Nick, who I do Sheffield United Way with. So that's at Hal the Blade. But either's great.
Either is great. We'll put them in the description for you. And again, I appreciate your time. I'll let you get out of here and whack on that AC. Well, there you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. Big shout out once again to Hal for giving up a bit of his time to take part in the Prediction League. If you want to see someone else feature on the Prediction League, get in the comments down below. And of course, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think I can beat him? Do you think he'll beat me? Of course. But we'll find all of that next weekend and see if he can challenge Elliot Bennett's high score of 5 on the Wall of Fame. Can he get up there? We'll see next week. Until then, subscribe, smash the like, catch you later. But until then, we're done.